Hello beautiful people, I'm Shay and this is my first official Sims 4 build here on YouTube. Before we get into the build, I kind of just want to make a note. I know these videos can get pretty long and sometimes it's just too much for people to watch, so if you're interested you can just click on the timestamp below and it will take you to the end of the video where you can go and check out what the build looks like after I'm done with it. If you do enjoy these, then thank you for watching. Now, let's get into the build itself. So I was a little bit inspired by an industrial building that I saw on Pinterest. I enjoyed the symmetry and the shapes, and I kind of just wanted to make it a very simple building, and I thought this kind of fitted for a modern school. So that's kind of what I went for. I chose this red color because I wanted that kind of effect of, you know, the red brick on old school buildings. I wanted that kind of effect, but I didn't want it to be brick. I wanted it to feel more modern, so I went with this. And I wanted to match it up with a tile that, or mainly a color that would fit, and I kind of like this tile from the Spa Day expansion pack, and I thought it would look cool with the vertical lines and horizontal lines, because you can see if you look carefully they're a little bit different. And yeah, so the middle of this building I decided to leave open because I kind of wanted a little outside area. I wanted it to feel a bit different than usual. And I think that it looks pretty cool actually, especially at the end of this video. The windows itself, I kind of still wanted to have that feeling of a high school, so these big windows, but I wanted to change it up a little bit, so I put in these windows as well, so they're kind of keep in with the horizontal and vertical lines of the building, and it gives that bit of a difference. Now the windows around the building are pretty much the same all the way around, except for the way back of the building where the exit is to the back of by the field. Otherwise everything else is pretty much the same because I didn't want to like make too much difference all over the building. And then of course by the door the windows are slightly different, but I think it works out pretty well. Now this area over here, I thought, okay, we'll put steps all the way around. Well, not all the way around, but in certain places. And I chose this fence because I want it to be modern, but also kind of eco. So I want a lot of plant life, and I feel like this fence is really cute, and it kind of fits in with that style. And I thought I'd go with these simple pillars. Now, the outside of the building is a very dark colors, and I thought the inside I want to feel very light and be bright. Like there's a lot of light coming in here because it is like half outside. The stairs I didn't want to get too complicated with really, so I just put these simple stairs in, and I thought, you know, I'll work with this and we'll put something close by that kind of makes sense. Now here in South Africa, our schools, I mean, they could be like this in other places over the world, but I know when you watch a lot of like movies or series with schools in it, the classrooms themselves, when you walk out of them, you walk into a corridor. Now here you walk out of the classroom and you're right on a patio, or like a you know, you're walking out onto, yeah, you're not really walking into a hallway or anything like that. So I kind of wanted the same effect, and that's what I kind of went for here, but I also wanted it to feel very like indoor outdoor living, so I put these big windows so that you could just feel the light come in. Now on the back of the building I really wanted it to have a full glass effect, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to because obviously the count and the door wasn't right, so I just went with a little bit of a simpler option, but still the same kind of effect, and I just used the same doors as on the front of the building, but I wanted the windows to stretch from the ground floor to the first floor, and it looks pretty cute I think. But I also wanted to have a bit of a patio here above the, a bit of a balcony on top of that patio, so that's what I went for over here. Of course I hope it still works out where it looks like the windows are stretching from ground floor to first floor. Now on the second floor it's pretty much a mirror image of the bottom floor, except a little more classrooms on the two sides, and then it's pretty wide open in the middle sections of the building itself. Now again I went with light floors, light walls. I really wanted everything to be kind of opposite of the outside of this building, and I feel like I got that, except we did have some black accents, like as you could see with the window frames and the doors and whatnot. So this little area over here, I thought, well, why not have a different kind of admin section. Instead of walking into a separate office, you'll come in here and greet someone. You know, if your parents are coming to speak to someone, they'll come and do it here by the front entrance and then go to a principal's office. I quite liked this little water feature, and I wanted to incorporate it, but I do end up moving this back. Actually, I removed the stairs at the back here and I moved the water feature right back because I feel like it just takes up too much space. And it ends up being very cramped, especially when I start adding the seating in. I'm sure you'll see soon enough. This table's in front, I didn't feel like it was necessary to have both, so I end up removing one of those as well. But this is pretty simple. It's just got a lot of plant life in the decor, and I really wanted a lot of clutter. I wanted it to just feel like, you know, it was sort of thought of and everything was put together. Of course, I mean, I don't think there's many schools you walk into that have all of this, but considering I wanted it to be like a modern, you know, I call it new Copperdale Prep. I wanted to feel modern and kind of like private schooly, you know, like a fancy school that your Sims would go to, and I think I kind of got that across. I do struggle a little bit with the clutter, and I'm sure you will notice later on in the video, well, not later on, but throughout the video, that I'm still getting used to things again because I haven't played Sims for a while, and I got a whole lot of new expansions, so now I've got all of the expansions, but I don't really know where everything is at the moment, and I'm still trying to figure that out and get around it. I do apologize for my voice. I think I am a little bit on the sick side. Anyway, I wanted to put a little bit of the old into this new building, and that's kind of where these paintings came in, and the fireplace a little. Like, it's not as modern as I think I would have gone, but I liked the mirror above it, and I liked how everything was built in, and it looks really cool. Then the paintings on the side, I wanted it to feel like the school had maybe, like, it was an old school before and they rebuilt the school, you know, and these are the founders of the original school. I kind of wanted to give that feel, and I quite enjoy actually how it fits in with the school. Eventually I do end up putting some lights above it so that the paintings stand out a little, because, you know, it's kind of nice to have uplights on your paintings, especially if you want people to notice them. Sometimes I fiddle a lot with things, but that's mainly because I'm kind of one of those who are a little bit of a perfectionist. Okay, so here we're in the principal's office, and I thought, well, you know, you want the principal's office to be a prestigious area because, I mean, they are the principal of your school, and especially if it's a private school, you're going to have parents coming here, but I also wanted it to feel like a kind of getaway for a principal, you know, just get away from them students. So that is what we're going with here. Now, I was looking for specific wallpaper, but I just cannot find it, and I suppose that's maybe because it was new or I just wasn't seeing it, but I just went with a simple plain wallpaper. Now, in the tables, if you didn't notice, I did kind of put like 4 tables in each other because the original principal table I did not like at all. There is another school table that I put in here, but it just wasn't working because the previous table was showing through, so I put these others. And guys, just you know, does that not look like Johnny Depp? Like, that painting totally looks like Johnny Depp. I don't know if it's just me, but I really think it does. Anyway, let's get back to talking about this build. So I just wanted a little modern area, a seating area over here. Of course, I'm not sure that it will necessarily be used by anyone because I do have normal chairs that I end up putting by the table, and the table works out. It does snap into place, so I know that it is working properly. Now, in each room, I kind of decided that I was going to go with putting these pot plants along the side of the windows, and I literally do that all the way around. And I quite enjoy the way it kind of fits in with the natural build. In these rooms, in 2 of these rooms specifically, I put in a darker wood floor because I wanted it to feel more warm and cozy. Now, here again, I'm in a section where there's a lot of clutter that I'm just going through and putting on the floor so that I can kind of see what I've got to work with, because, you know, when you're on a looking at a bookshop like this, you don't want it to be empty, and I really wanted it to feel like it had the amount of things that you would want it to have. But again, I you know, I'm not really sure what all of the stuff is, so I'm just kind of working with that. But a lot of plant life again. I kind of like how it came out. I feel like it's very clean, but at the same time it's got a lot going for it. Now this over here is going to be the nurse's office, and I thought it would be cute to add a nurse's office in, but I did want the area to be a little bit divided, so I put these divider walls in because I want the beds to be in a little bit more of a private area, and you know, the usual bookshelves with their clutter, though I do forget to put clutter on these bookshelves, but I have added it in after the video and it will be part of the build, though you can change that however you'd like, but it is added in there. Now, I struggled a little bit with this office, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I couldn't just get all of the parts. I feel like I've been using all of the same pieces, and I don't know if that's because I've been trying to go for this modern style so much that there are only that many pieces that I can use, and I wanted a lot of pieces where I can put my own items on the shelf, so I think that's also where it came in with a little bit of a problem of being limited on items. But then I used these cabinets because I thought they were actually really cute with the room itself, you know, like filing cabinets or something. They still kind of fit in with that feel. Now, there are a few elements in this room I don't know how they're going to work out. I don't necessarily play a lot. Like, if I'm really bored and I just want to do something chill, I'll play The Sims, but majority of the time I'm just building. I'm doing builds, and that's why I was kind of inspired to just do this, because I enjoy building so much. I thought, why not share it with everyone? And yeah, so if for example that IV over there, I'm not sure how all of that works being in buildings that it shouldn't necessarily be in, especially a school building, and yeah, so I hope that it works out, but please do let me know if there's anything wrong with this build in the bottom of the video, because, you know, give me a comment. I'd love to know if something's not working so that in future videos I can change it, though I do generally try and make sure that the video is functional for players, or that the build is functional for players. Now this is one of the bathrooms and locker rooms. This is specifically the ladies side, and I thought I really liked this mint color over here, and I was like, this could fit pretty cute. On the opposite side of the building is the male's bathroom. You can see that I'm busy doing both of them at the same time, but the colors are slightly different. I went with these pink drape curtains, or like wool curtains, I'm not really sure, here in this room. Excuse me, because I thought it was really cute. And this side is a locker shower room. I kind of wanted these half walls because I wanted it to feel like you were walking into these separate showers, and then they're still private, so I quite liked that, of course, and I really wanted the colors to kind of match up, so I went with the mint and this pinky color, and I think I managed to find the elements to come across that this is the color scheme that I'm going with, and it looks really cute. And I thought I'd add these lockers in, a few mirrors, and of course lots of plant life, because my eco modern feel is coming through in this video, and to be quite honest, that's probably what a lot of my builds kind of end up looking like, because I love plants so much, and I love a modern feel, though I do build other kinds of buildings, and you shall see lots of different kinds of buildings for sure. I tried not to forget lighting as I went along with this build, because sometimes I can forget lighting, and then like by chance I will be playing with a sim and then I realize, oh my word, I didn't put any lights into my build, and it can be chaotic, because you know the sims don't like it when there's no lighting, or you know these emotions, and then you can't see nicely because it's so dark and it feels like nighttime half the time. But anyway, so here's the male side of the bathroom. I've pretty much mirrored these, except there's a few different elements in it because I didn't want it to be exactly the same, but I also just wanted it to fit. I kind of went with this, I don't know, brownie color, and I thought I'll just match it orange and red in there. This next two rooms are kind of my favorites. It is a swimming, it's a swimming pool, and then the opposite room is a hot spring, and I was like, okay, this would be cool, especially for like a private school, where you have this hot spring room and then you've got this swimming pool. And but you know, it was very squashed when I started. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but then I loved it. Like, I love the way that these rooms came out. I love the tile that I ended up using. the lights above it, I don't know, it just, everything worked for me. And then of course this waterfalls and plants, they kind of just really fitted in so beautifully, and I kind of liked it, though I struggled a little bit to figure out what I necessarily wanted to do with those little water features, and then I thought, wow, they speak for themselves, so just leave them be. Okay, and this is the hot spring area, and I also just wanted some seating. There's also a hot spring. Now I wanted, oh, well, sorry, waterfall. I wanted the waterfalls to kind of feel like they are like sinks. I didn't want to put like proper basins in here, but I wanted some sort of a sink system going on here. These rooms are very simple, but I feel like they make a big impact with the things that are in them, like the plant life inside the pool area, and these lamps inside this hot spring area really makes it stand out as a hot spring, you know. But I needed to add plant life again because you can't go without the plant life. And then I kind of was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do with this middle area. I'm going to do a basketball court, because how cool would that be to have like this basketball court in the middle of this build? It just kind of worked out and looked really cool to me. And then again, I just scattered plant life all over the place, and I know sometimes it seems monotonous because it's the same kind of plants, but I didn't want it to be all crazy and stuff, you know. It's a modern build, so I really wanted it to be modern, and I felt like I needed good lights in here, and I hope that these lights kind of work for the whole basketball feel. I think they do, and I hope that you guys think they do too, but let me know. Now this area on this side, I decided to do a gym. The theme kind of for this building, you'll notice anything where you would need a shower, like if your Sims need to go to a shower, is on the bottom floor. Like a swimming pool, a gym, anything like that is on the bottom floor. And the top floor is where all the classrooms are. Now, color scheme wise, I wasn't very sure about this gym here. I was like, are these colors cool enough for a gym? And then my husband was like, have you seen the bright colors in a gym? And then I was thought to myself, okay, yeah, I guess that kind of works. I'm not sure how gyms are everywhere else, but they do actually have quite bright colors sometimes in the gyms have us. And I thought I would you know, I kind of liked the color at the end of the day, and it kind of pops. And I don't know, the blue floor really just fits in with that strip for me. So this is what I wanted to be pretty simple. I didn't want to be too crazy with the gym, but I did want to kind of use those elements like I did on the other side of the building with a swimming pool area. So I put the plant life on the walls as well. So now we can move on to the kitchen. This is the staff room over here. I've even used the door so that it is restricted access. So we decided that I liked the specific kitchen that I had seen in one of the pre-built rooms, and I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna just bring that room in, and then I'll use the cabinets in that I want and just add it and fix it up the way I want to and change the color, because I knew what colors I wanted. And yeah, it worked pretty well. Sometimes it is nicer or faster than actually going to the specific, you know, the kitchen area and getting the cabinets out, but I think it probably would have been faster for me to just go and do it myself. Sorry. The next part of this build, I kind of wanted to feel a little bit also warm and cozy, but like it was more homey, because you know, with it being a staff area, you know, your teachers want to get away from the students. So I thought, I'm going to put a big TV in this room. I was like, I don't care if it's a staff room, they're going to be sitting on this couch or watching TV while they're on their break. And I thought these couches were cute, though they're probably not the coziest couches, but the colors were right, and I kind of thought that they fit in with the room. And yes, this is where I decided to put in the TV and this radio, and I was like, this is just a very cool, chill area for staff, and you know, it works out very well. If I do go blank in these videos sometimes, it's probably because my child is doing something that I consider not to be good, or you know, jumping around in his high chair, and I'm just trying to control him at the same time that I'm speaking to you guys. I do have a toddler. He is 18 months now, and he can be full of nonsense. This area over here, so we're almost done with the first floor actually. This over here is the canteen area, and I don't know, I was like trying to figure out what to do exactly. So I used these canteen area, you know, you have to use these specific tables, and I thought, okay, that's fine, I'll use these, they're not bad, they're actually quite nice. And then I'm gonna put this barista yeah, this barista set here on the other side of the canteen because, well, why not? It's probably not the best for a build, but I was like, meh. You can let me know if it works out or not. I'm not really sure how this is going to function. Does the school hire a barista? Not really sure exactly, but you know, I just thought it was very cute and it fits in with the build, and I decided I was going to add it in. The seating itself, the floor is mainly what I struggle with, because I didn't want it to be blank, and I thought, okay, well, let me try and put some sort of carpet or pattern. And you can see I go through quite a few different ones to test them out, but I'm just not happy with a lot of them. And then I decided, well, let me just, I don't know, try and look at a few different styles and see what would work. I did quite like this, and I liked the colors, but the shapes weren't working out because if you like have them opposite, it just didn't fit in properly. I loved the color of these tables specifically, and I thought that they would match up quite nicely with this room and the build, and I ended up getting rid of that floor because I did not like it. And then I wanted to put this bit of a feel into the rest of the build with this water feature over here, because you know the swimming area has it, and I kind of really liked this and the pattern. It gives me very Greek vibes, and which is probably exactly what it is. But yeah, so I thought I'll just put these little patterns on the floor as well, because they kind of fit in and it looks nice with this water feature. So I really like the build. Now if we look at the rest of the build, well, now I'm just putting lighting in so that I don't forget, because this always happens. And I think we're moving to the next floor now. Oh, this is where I changed the front area. I thought that it looked so much nicer with these like counters around, because I used these counters inside the canteen area. I was like, yeah, I'm going to use these in the front as well. It looks awesome, and I really like how it came out, like these big desks. And then I decided to kind of do a little bit more symmetry with the room itself, and I love how it came out. And this is where I put the uprights in, and these boxes were just great fit. Yeah, and I thought I'll add another one of these at the back, because then it kind of matches up with the room, and it was kind of perfect. Now on the second floor, here I just added the bathrooms. These are just normal bathrooms on the second floor. There is no locker rooms. I didn't feel like we needed locker rooms on both levels, and that's why I went with this. This over here, I thought I wanted to be really colorful, because this is the art class. Now some of the classes in here will not be very functional, and especially the last class that I do, but we'll get to that. This class itself I think is pretty functional, but I wanted to add a whole lot of crazy stuff in, so I ended up adding in like the pumpkin working station, and I wanted to, you know, just add a few elements in that kind of wouldn't necessarily be in a school, but I really wanted it to be crazy. I mean, like there's a candle making station in here, and I do end up adding the knitting stuff in. This build has a lot going on, and I think that you probably need almost every expansion. Well, I wouldn't say every expansion. I generally build from the same kind of expansions, but especially with like the knitting expansion and stuff like that, you will need those kits to be able to use these. But of course you can update these classrooms the way you want to. You don't need to use the exact elements that I have. You can just change it up and turn it into your own kind of crafting area. But I really wanted all these crafting elements in here, and I liked the way it came out. I thought it was pretty cute. Now this next room I think is a general classroom. These 4 rooms over here, I kind of wanted to make classrooms. They are two classrooms are different, but the color schemes I wanted to be completely different, and I wanted each room to have its own kind of wallpapers and colors. I decided to go with a chess class over here, and I thought that would be a pretty cool touch for the school. Again, probably not the most functional thing, but I felt like you only really need 2 functioning classrooms for the school to work and process the way that you need it to. Besides that, you know, the rest can be fillers. And I kind of like how this came out, because I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the classroom furniture and stuff, but I quite enjoyed how this is, and especially this little table. I think it's so cute that they added this table as a schoolroom table for the teachers, and I used it in all of the classrooms because I felt like it was really cute. Now every classroom is pretty generic because I've just used the same kind of style. Like here I've always used a bookshelf but with different clutter and different colors, but I like that it's like that. Like even the clock on top of the whiteboard, even that is in every classroom. I just put a different kind of clock and I really enjoyed that. So I've pretty much like duplicated things and tried to get the colors just to match up in the rooms. And yeah, I feel like I accomplished, and it looks pretty cool and it's pretty cute. In some of these I put clutter on the tables. In fact, I think only the one really I put clutter on the tables because I was like, well, you know, either forgot about the others or I just wasn't sure. Now here I thought, okay, more seating, less seating, but I don't know, I wasn't liking the feel of this because there wasn't much space by the door and it just wasn't working out. So I do end up moving it to only one table, which is the same on this side. I end up only moving it to one table per, you know, yeah, pretty much like this. I end up moving it like that, and I feel like it works more. Also because I wanted to add these cabinets on the side of each room. So yes, this side is the same, it's just a plain classroom, and I don't know, I duplicated everything to make it fit and work out with what I was going for. And like this side is like soft pinks and purples, and I thought it was quite cute, but I changed these tables because I didn't feel like the other ones fit, and I put more plant life in. Again, I just changed the painting, some more clutter, and yes, you get the point. It's just very generic and the same in each one of these 4 rooms, but it still like makes, I don't know, I feel like it still has this kind of impact where it's a bit different and fun. Now the last room, we're doing music room first. Okay, so we're doing music room now, and I really wanted these like black and white colors, but then I wanted a pop of color in here as well, and I did that more in my paintings and in my carpet. I just put the main instruments you would generally use, and then I wanted it to feel sort of like a music room with the chairs. I just put a few chairs, of course, but I feel like it's quite cute and it works out. And yeah, it's very simple, and I didn't want it to be too much because, you know, you want space and you really wanted to, I guess I wanted more of a theatrical feel really in the room. Not that that's necessarily how it came out, but you know, I quite liked it. Now up here, this is where the library is, and I wanted the same feel as at the bottom desk because it just kind of fits now. And this is also very simple. I just put in these bookshelves and some seating because, you know, you need to have some seating in your library. You can see how messy I get sometimes. I just like plant things down and then fix it at the end. Table wise, this is kind of what I went for because I just thought, well, it's simple and it doesn't need to be too much, but I still like how it came out. Again, my colors are more neutral. It's mainly the classrooms that were like very colorful and bright, and I kind of like that. Even the gym and the swimming pool and hot spring, they are just very different to me, and it's not something you would generally see in a school. This itself is very like clean and simple. At first I thought, okay, this library is so damn boring, but I don't know, I kind of like it. It's a subtle touch, you know. Now on this side of the room we are doing a gaming area, and I was like, okay, a gaming room because it's part of the expansion, these gaming tables and stuff, and I thought, okay, well, let's just put, it was mainly a computer room, but we'll give it like a very gaming effect. And at first I was like, okay, these tables, I don't like this gap and I need to try to figure out how to fix this, but at the same time I didn't quite like that, and I thought, well, maybe just a divider would work better, so I do end up putting dividers in. I go with the bowling divider because I think it's very gamey and cool, and the LED fits in, you know. And then kind of the same sort of feel as other stuff. I wanted these posters to make it feel like you know, you're a gamer and these are games you enjoy. And then I put these bookshelves in, so it's sort of the same as the other classrooms, but just a lot more should I say, I wanted to put a lot more clutter on the shelves because I wanted to put those figurines and that in. Some of the elements that I've used in this build you can only really get in the if you have debug on, so do keep that in mind. I didn't want big lighting in this room. I thought I'd go with this trim around the top fits in with the style. It's pretty. You can't change this lighting color though I'm sure you can in the game itself, like you know how you change your room's color, but it would have been cool to like have, well, I suppose you can just change it in the game, because I thought of maybe making it red and it would like fit it with the mood of the room. Yeah, I went with a whole lot of Star Wars items here on the shelf, and then just a few of these little like pop socket kind of things. Yeah, I thought these little figurines were so cute, and I would just put a whole lot of them in, and I actually liked the way it came out. Now, in the hallways, I struggled a bit to try and find clutter that would suit, because I didn't want all this craziness, and I thought, okay, well, I will just put some of these hanging like trees up again, and it came out pretty well. Now, this is the room that I don't think is going to function at all in this high school, and that's mainly because I've made it a science room and I've used these beaker tables. I don't know, I suppose these tables could work because they're not like hectically science tables, but I really wanted this element of a science room, and I feel like I got it. Like, it looks like a science room and it's very cool and stuff, but I don't know if it's going to function for the high school itself, like in the gameplay. Maybe you guys can let me know if you do use this build, if it works as an element in the school. Like, it would be very interesting to see. I do think that I will test this build out one day, when I'm a little bored and I just want to try something new. I will probably test it out. I wanted it to feel very sciencey, but have like these rocks and, you know, all these like things where you would discover them, and have the skeleton, and, you know, make it feel really cool. One thing I did not add in here, which I think I should have, was a whiteboard, which I guess I can actually still add at the end of the like maybe just put it off to one side where the teacher can like pull it towards you or whatever. But at the same time, I was like, I'm thinking that I like what I've got, like I like how it looks, and it just wouldn't work with a whiteboard. Like, yeah, I don't know, in my opinion it just wouldn't work out, and I like that area just as is. So at this point in time, we literally have 2 areas left. That is this classroom over here and the rec area. Now, I really wanted a really cool chill area for the simmers at school, and sorry, my son is needing my help. Okay, this classroom, I decided to go with a debate room. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do in this room. I don't know what else I can add to this school that isn't a generic classroom, and I put in like a debate stand, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to put normal chairs. I also don't know how this is going to function for the school thing. I don't know if the simmers will actually use it, or if you will just have to play around and use it yourselves. You know, it's not going to really be the normal high school kind of thing. So, okay. There are a few things that I do end up changing and adding. Like, there's a few clutter items that I end up adding after the video I've done making this video. This is the rec area over here. I wasn't really sure what to put in. Like I say, I didn't have the werewolf expansion pack, and so I don't know what this funny table is here that I added in, but I put them in here anyway. I also thought I kind of wanted to add this hockey ring, well, ice ring or skate ring, but the only issue was there was just no space for it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like randomly put clutter in just for the sake of doing it, because that just wouldn't be cool. So I decided to go against putting that in. And this area itself, I don't know, I'm not sure it's as fun as I would have wanted it to be. I decided to go with this pattern on the floor again and like do the red instead of the white, which is underneath, and make it a little more fun with the colors. And yeah, I was trying to get the colors to just really stand out in a way compared to the rest of the outer areas, because like, as you notice, only the really indoor areas are very bright and colorful, whereas the like library and the other areas that are on the outside, they're not very bright and colorful. But I kind of got what I wanted at the end of the day. Like, I did feel like it was a fun build. I'm just trying to see now what's best to put this, because I need to try and figure out how I'm going to decorate the outside. And though I didn't want it to be a lot, there is a little bit of like unsure about how big the patio should have been at the back. In this part of the video, I was like trying to figure out how to decorate the school. I thought the sign would be pretty cute to like say, okay, this is the sign for the school, you know, and trying to find the right fence for this. And I thought just going for this very low standing fence would be the best way to kind of come across, and I would just put maybe plants around it and make it look pretty cool. And I wanted to go with this outline over here, so you have a walking path all the way around the school. I enjoy how it came out, and I do end up changing it a little because of the seating that I end up adding around the school, and it's the same as on the inside. I really wanted to just add it around this basketball area because I thought it just fits pretty well. When it comes to plants around here, I was like, what the heck am I going to do? Because I don't want it to look crazy, like I don't want it to be too much. I was like, what's going to be, like what's going to fit in? I put these palm trees, and then I realized this is not a beach area. Like this, palm trees just don't fit into this build. So I went with the hedges around here, and I thought that I would just go with these pot plants all the way around the building. And to be quite honest with you, I really like how it came out. Like I was like, this is going to be very dumb and very like the same all the way around. But then when I was done doing it, I thought to myself, wow, this looks pretty cool actually, because I kind of wanted to hide the bottom area. I wish that they would add in a way for you to change the foundation color to fit the building, because you know when you want to lift the building but you don't want a difference. That's what I wanted, but you can't get that. You need to use the foundation colors that they give you, or options that they give you, and I don't like it, so I've hidden it now with these. And yeah, I literally go with this all the way around, and I end up putting the steps here and just trying to get it to be pretty cool. And this just goes off to the field area at the back. I didn't want to do anything crazy by the field because there's already a field there. Like what more do you want to add? We're actually almost to the end of the video, and you know, just before we end, I am actually a designer in my job. I currently am doing stage design, technical design. I draw out stages and that for conferences and different shows, and it's pretty cool. I did take a course in interior design, so I don't know if that really comes across in my builds. I don't necessarily think so. And I don't think that just taking a course is going to make you an interior designer, but I've always had that sort of feel by heart. And yeah, the back here I've just made really simple, and yeah, I didn't want to do too much with it. But for now, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, we are just about at the end of the build now. I thought I just wanted this area at the back here to be very cute and simple. I will end up adding a few more things into the build afterwards. When you download the build from the gallery, you can get it at ShayJG. So that's capital SHAY. I'll put it into the description below, and then capital JG. It's pretty much my initials. Yeah, I hope you guys like this build. I hope you enjoy this build. Please if you test it out, let me know, and we'll see you guys and chat again soon. Bye guys.